Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to tackle one of the trickiest parts of English, those little prepositions of time. Yep, we're talking about at, on, and in. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to answer the question when with total confidence. Ready to finally solve this puzzle? Let's jump right in. So, have you ever been talking and just stopped? Wondering if you should use at, on, or in? Trust me, you are not alone. It's probably one of the most common hurdles for English learners out there. But hey, don't worry about it, because we're about to make this whole thing super simple. Yeah, you know the feeling. You're trying to tell someone your schedule, you say, my class is, and then your brain just freezes. Is it in Monday, at Monday, on Monday? It feels like a total guessing game, right? Well, that's the exact problem we're going to solve right now. Okay, forget about trying to memorize a bunch of random rules. That never works. Instead, let's use a really simple system. I like to call it the pyramid of time. Just picture a pyramid, right? The bottom is wide and big. That's for your general longer periods of time. And as you go up towards that sharp little point, the time gets way more specific and precise. This whole idea of going from general to specific, well, it's the key to everything. So let's start at the bottom of that pyramid, the big, wide base. That's where we use in. I want you to think big. We use in for the largest chunks of time. We're talking whole years, like in 2025, entire seasons, like in summer, or months, in June. It even works for those big parts of the day, like in the morning or in the evening. All right, let's move up the pyramid a little. We're getting more specific, and that's where on comes in. So if in is for a whole month, on zooms in on just one single day or a specific date. Like, picture a calendar and putting their finger on just one square. That's on. You'll use it for days of the week, on Friday, or specific dates, like on May 15th or on my birthday. Super simple. One day, one date, you use on. And here we are, all the way at the tippy top of the pyramid, the sharpest point. That's where we use at. This is for the most specific, the most exact moments in time. We're talking about the time you see on a clock, like at 9 a.m. or at 10:30. It's also for those really precise moments, like at noon, at midnight, or at lunchtime. Basically, if you can point to it on a clock, you're going to use at. And there you have it, all three laid out nice and simple. Think of this as your go-to cheat sheet. You've got the biggest periods of time with in, narrowing down to single days with on, all the way to the exact moment with at. See that pattern? General to specific. Seriously, if you can just remember this chart, you have totally mastered the main idea. Awesome, so you've got the main system down. That's the hardest part. Now let's just cover a few rules of the road. Just a couple quick tips on how to build your sentences and some special cases you gotta know to sound even more like a native speaker. First off, putting these into a sentence is actually really easy. You've got two main options. You can stick the time part at the end, like, I study at 8 a.m. Or if you want to emphasize the time, you can put it right at the front. On Monday, I have class. Both are 100% correct, and people use them all the time. Okay, listen up, because this one is super important. There are some words that don't need any preposition at all. I'm talking about words like next, last, this, and every. So you'd never say, I will see you on next week. Nope. You just say, I will see you next week. And it's the same for today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Just use the word by itself, no preposition needed. This is a big one. And here's a fun little curveball for you. What about the weekend? How do you talk about that? Well, it actually depends on who you're talking to. If you're in the UK, you'll probably hear at the weekend. But in the US, people say on the weekend. The crazy part? They're both right. It's just a little difference between British and American English. Kind of cool, right? All right, we've talked through the theory, which is great, but we all know that practice is what really makes it stick. So in this next part, I want you to do something with me. Listen to the sentence and then say it out loud. Seriously, do it. It helps build that muscle memory so the right words just come out naturally. You ready? Okay, first one. Say it after me. We have class on Wednesday. Nice. And we're using on. Why? Because Wednesday is one specific day. Okay, next step. Let's hear it. She was born in March. Perfect. We use IN because March is a bigger chunk of time, a whole month. All right, how about this one? The bus leaves at 9 o'clock. You got it? AT for that exact specific time on the clock. Let's try that weekend one. We'll use the American version. I play football on weekends. Fantastic job. And just one more for practice. Let's go. She wakes up at 6 a.m. Excellent. See? Saying it out loud is what really makes it start to feel natural. Okay, you've learned the pyramid system, you've seen the special cases, and you've even practiced saying them out loud. Now it is time for the final challenge. This is where you get to put it all together and really test out your new skills. All right, take a look at these 5 sentences on your screen. All you have to do is fill in the blank with either in, on, or at. In just a second, I'm going to ask you to pause, so take a good look and really think about that time pyramid for each one. Okay, hit pause right now, think about your answers, and when you think you've got them, press play and we'll check them together. And we're back. Ready to see how you did? Okay, number 1, my birthday is in July. Number 2, I get up at 7 o'clock. Number 3, we go to church on Sundays. 4, I study English in the evening. And finally, number 5, they travel in summer. So, how'd you do? I have a feeling you did great. Awesome job. And hey, look at what you can do now. You can build a sentence that sounds totally natural, just like this one here. You're combining all these prepositions to talk about your life with confidence, using on for the days and at for the time. That is a massive step forward. Now, to make sure this knowledge really sticks, here is your final mission. I want you to write 3 sentences about your own life using in, 3 with on, and 3 with at. You know, things like, I was born in October. I have a meeting on Tuesday. I wake up at 7 a.m. When you make it about you, that's when you'll really own it. And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? To take these grammar rules and actually use them in your real life. Because that's the moment when English stops being just a subject you learn and starts becoming a part of how you live. Thanks so much for joining me.